Today, under the lights of Orlando, a new era begins. From the heart of Central Florida and one of the nation's fastest rising university, Bloxula E returns for season 3. New rivals, new energy, and new ambitions. And for the first time, the future, and for the second time, the future teams and their cars will be revealed right here at UCF. Tonight, we unveil the machines that will carry Bloxula E into a new season of electric racing using the Gen 3 cars. This is the Bloxula E Season 3 reveal live from UCF in Orlando, Florida. Starting off today, I'm joined off with Doctor I Am Monkey.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back for yet another season, broadcasting live, as Monkey said, from University of Central Florida here at UCF. Back, of course, with ESP, who will broadcast most of the races this season. And I'm super excited, Monkey. It's like 1 month ago or 2 months ago, around that time, we were starting yet another season of Bloxula E, the first season of it, and now it's like the first day of school.
Yeah, it is our first day of school, almost like second grade. Back here at UCF once again, an amazing location for an amazing event to get this season started. But let's not wait any longer. Let's get these cars out here. I want to see these cars.
Yeah, let's. We're acting surprised, trying to act surprised, but I'm
Yeah, like we
sure
haven't
you guys
already
will
seen
love
these.
the. You guys will love the schemes. I have to say. Obviously,
All right,
I will have. We have to credit the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. GT, who isn't with us today, but he's
sadly.
made all of the schemes this year. Well, not this year, this season of Bloxula E. And yeah,
Yeah, he has done
let's
an amazing job. But let's see these cars. All right, first up, Persian Autosport, a new team. We're going to the new teams first. Persian Autosports, owned by Fox. This livery has a black and orange look, but let's get ready to see it. Here is Persian Autosport, owned by Fox. We're having some technical difficulties in the back.
trying to get the car out. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Prussian Autosport Bloxula E Challenger. Here it is.
Yeah, this is a beauty of a scheme right here.
You can't see it correctly, but yes, that does say Easy on the side pods.
Yeah,
Monster
that is a
Energy logos.
Yeezy sponsored car.
Got some Yahoo. And yup, just have to say this livery over here. It's really hard to say because all the liveries this season are incredible. I have to say, GT has done an amazing work, and really excited to see this car perform on track. And
hmm
we will announce the schedule after we
After this,
reveal. Yeah, after we reveal all the
after
liveries.
we reveal every single scheme, Persian Autosports, they have their drivers. We have Evan in the 15 and Luca in the 17. Persian Autosports, of course, is a new team, but Evan did finish P7 in the constructors, so it is a good driver one for Persian Autosports. But the
And I
next
have to
team,
I have to add with that, Evan used to drive for NRT, sadly dropped after the season, but he all the races he showed up to last season, they were somewhat good. Like he had some good races. Really happy to see him get the chance still. And looking forward to Prussian Autosport in this season.
All right, our next team, also brand new, owned by Puff, sadly cannot be with us as he is qualifying for the Bubble 325 right now. But Caterham is an historic team in Formula One and all over. Happy to have Puff bring Caterham to Bloxula E. The two drivers for this team are Puff and Joey, which he might be. I think he is in here. He might be. I don't know. But here it is. The
Here's the
Caterham.
livery. Gotta say, really simplistic look. That's how I like cars. Not too complicated. And yeah, that's really the livery. Caterham. Once again, new team this season.
Yeah, trying to get their works going on the team. A really nice dark green on that car, shined by some yellow and white. But once again, the Caterham, owned by Puff, raced by Puff, and joined with Joey. Next team. It's a historic one. Day one on F1, multiple time champions, constructors, drivers, hypercar, WEC champions, GT champions, just an historic car brand straight from Italy. It is the Tifosi's favorite, the Ferrari. Not according to this. Oh wait, next one, wrong one. The next one is Knox. Can't say much about it.
Just said that as if nothing. Yeah, technical issues, but another new
Technical
team this
issues.
season.
Yeah, another new team. It's the
Ah,
Knox.
we spoiled one of the team's livery,
Well,
even though
yeah. Even though people can look at the grid, it's Knox. It's owned by Chimp. Um,
if
I don't know anything about this team, so
yeah, that's funny
it's new.
considering this team used to drive in a good old league of mine, F4R, and here it is.
Yeah, this scheme was inspired by an Audi. I don't remember which one, but they did replace the red with the gold, so you can see that resemblance on the side. It does have that Audi feel. Once again, this is Knox, owned by Chimp, raced by Chimp. Does not have their second driver yet, but we are waiting for Chimp to see what that second driver will be. This is the Knox once again.
You know, when we think of these teams, some of them being original, it just makes me happy. You know, it's nothing to take away from people that want to make teams that already exist in real life, but when you get a custom team with your very own background, it's amazing to see. And Knox, one of them. Champ didn't really do that bad last season. Looking forward to him racing
All
again
right,
this time, full time.
now it's the Tifosis, the men, the car in red. There it is, the Ferrari, multi-time champion in F1, been there day one. You've heard all of this before. This team owned by GT, who the person who has made all the schemes,
Fred,
Fred.
not GT.
But this was the first scheme to be made and published from GT. That's what I meant to say. But this is owned by Fred. Have both of their drivers, Fred and Xavier. But now,
Here it
presenting
is.
the Ferrari.
Nothing much to say, really. This is just a typical Ferrari livery. It has some twists from there and on, but it's a Ferrari. Their
Yeah,
liveries
it's a
always
Ferrari.
slap.
You got that red. You do have some design in the red, and then you had that Puma on that fin and the Italian flag on the bottom of the end plates there. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Ferrari.
We don't have one of the Ferrari drivers, which is Xavier, in here. I would have loved to interview him. First time making his Bloxula debut alongside his team owner Fred. Both of them will be driving the Scuderia Ferrari machine. And moving on to the next one.
Our next team, they've been in Formula E for a while. You might recognize this name for its history. It is Andretti. Team Andretti, obviously from the United States. They have been in IndyCar for a while, but you just know the Andretti name, Marco Andretti, Mario Andretti, 20-time Indy 500 attempter, never has won it. But this livery, you might already know it and seen it, but this is the Andretti. This is a exact replica from the real life Andretti. This is the only livery, I do believe, that is from real life.
And Monkey, one thing I have to add that this team is actually owned by Box, previous driver of Porsche, now a reserve driver for Porsche, and he's also a team owner now. Both drivers are two drivers, Austin and Joey, who are here, by the way. Here's Austin on the stream. If he wants to say 8, says 8 to the stream. Yep. And if Joey wants to say something else to the stream, pointing over to him. 3. Okay. Moving on.
Our next team, one of the teams that has been here since race 1. It is owned by me, the one and only Seabreeze BMW. We have had very much success in season 1. We did have the most amount of wins for the team, mainly by me. I did have the most wins, but after last season dropping from Seabreeze Cadillac, we transferred to BMW, and there it is.
Once again, this is yet another IRL livery inspired, and it still doesn't mean it's bad. In fact, it's pretty good. I love BMW liveries. Their design, it's beautiful.
This livery is obviously inspired by the BMW GTP, but new this season is going to be a throwback race. This is one of the teams that will be participating in the throwback race, and they will have another special livery, which will be announced when it is made. But that is Seabreeze BMW.
We're still yet to know what teams will participate in the throwback race, but for now, only confirmed Tim, fuck, um, is Bucky, BMW.
And our next team is going to be Jaguar. I do not believe they were here season one. They might have. I think they were. And I know they were here last year, but it is on a different owner. They might be participating in the throwback, but we don't know. But this livery, you might expect it to be the. Oh, wait, never mind. Just show the car.
Jaguar.
All right, this is the Jaguar.
We do have a Jaguar driver. It's Maxwell. Before we reveal the livery, if he wants to say something. Wow. Okay. Here it is. The
Yeah,
Jaguar
there is.
racing machine. You know, just your average
Yeah,
Jaguar
just an
livery.
average game
Not
from
too
Formula
bad.
E, but that is the Jaguar. I believe that is our first team, first non-new team. They did finish. Where did they finish last? In the constructors last year, they finished. They finished sixth with 54 points, 117, hoping for a bounce back year.
They did
But
have
our next team,
a they did have a good last half of the season.
hmm but our next team, one that was seen as just a scare last year. It is Ford. Ford obviously entering Formula E last season and entering F1 this season. Ford finished fifth in the constructors, with Lego and Axe finishing both P in the top five. Lego in P3 and Axe P5, and there is the BMW. This game is
The
inspired
Ford.
by the Ford Mustang GT3 or GTD that we saw be introduced. That is the first edition of the scheme.
You know, once again, most of these are just inspired by our real liveries. This livery in particular, I love IRL as well.
Yeah,
It's
the Ford GT just looks amazing with this
yeah.
scheme, but it doesn't give that same feeling on this car.
There were some drama, I guess you could say, with this team as Burnout slash Poland, the team owner of Ford, was going to be busy, so they had to get a new team owner who is actually here with us watching the livery reveal. So hey, I
hmm
hope you enjoy, Nick.
All right, our next team, taken F1 by storm, taken down Red Bull last season, and their driver took down Max Verstappen last season. And looking very good this season in F1, but new to Bloxula, it is McLaren. And also joining WEC with their new GTP next season in 2027.
This is Evo's team. That's
Yeah,
my
this is
McLaren.
Evo's,
Here it is.
a
It's
mix
the
between orange and yellow with the quadrant sponsor.
Quadrant
Me and
used to
Fox.
be Evo's team last season. Now
Yes.
changed to Arrow McLaren.
Before before this the reveal, me and Fox said this looks like a Lexus.
It does
If you
kind of
make it
look
all
like a
yellow, it looks like a
Lexus.
Lexus.
Some important news regarding Evo's lineup. He will be driving once again, but last season we had the Friendless Man Angry contract talks whether he would stay full time in Bloxula E. He did end up going to a reserve, but not driving for Arrow McLaren. Instead, Arrow McLaren have decided to go ahead and sign Axe, a solid driver for Ford last season, and we'll see how this team does. And just good luck to them, like everyone.
Our next team getting a rebrand from last year. Last year they were NYR. This year it's Rebellion. The Rebellion race team is owned by Minecat and drivers with Lego and Nathan with Minecat a reserve. A striking black and red livery. It looks fast.
Really, I have to say this kind of looks like a pre-season testing livery.
Yeah, it does. Not a lot of sponsors on that car, but
It's still
that
clean.
does give room for design. I do believe that car was inspired by the prototype Rebellion, if I believe. Now, to your top two, the two teams that were battling out all season, but ultimately Porsche fell behind. Last season, they went with a different livery, the what we called it the garbage truck livery, but now they've gone yellow.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Battling, gonna look like a Ferrari, but it's a Porsche. Here is the Porsche. Our season one champions, owned by Brett. I do believe they are. No, so Cal becomes the second driver while Box goes down to reserve, but obviously an owner driver. But this is an asymmetrical livery, our first asymmetrical livery that was submitted. So the left-hand side does have a little bit more red than the right-hand side.
yeah,
As you can see, our
this livery is
it is an interesting livery
better than last season. I have to say.
season. Even though it was a fan favorite, the board of directors on Bloxula did not agree with the people, but the people have the say. And now, your season two champions, NRT. This is owned by Doctor, one of our hosts. So, Doctor, why don't you introduce this one?
Ladies and gentlemen, NRT. Now NRT Nissan. It's not. It doesn't have many Nissan twists. We decided to keep some Red Bull twists to it. You might recognize this livery because it was actually ran this year in F1. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the NRT machine for this season's Bloxula Eve. And talking more about NRT, they have and this is everyone can agree on this. They have probably, well, we have probably the most stacked lineup this year. Bringing back Tim, officially signing JJ as a main driver, and now, as a surprise, came as a surprise to me also, Fish as a reserve driver. So if you want to say something, Monkey.
Yeah, this team is going to be dangerous, looking to go back to back. But that is all of the liveries for the season. Only, well, the throwback livery for BMW has been posted in general, and BMW will release a livery later on in the season when it's finished. But now it's time to reveal the season 3 schedule.
Hold on, give me
Race
a
times
second.
will race times will be the exact same 1 p.m. EST. Well, let's get through it. Round 1. Who saw this coming? It's Mexico City. May 23rd, Memorial Weekend. It's going to be a big one. A good race. We don't know what the throwback weekend is, but that is one of the contenders to host the throwback weekend. Race 2, May 30th. We go to Land of the Rising Sun, Twin Motegi. It's going to be an interesting one. Our first trip to Japan after it moving to away from the scheduled season. Race 3, it is Monza on June 6th. That is going to be a really good one. One of the favorites from last year.
In fact, it was probably the best race from last year. Really excited to see
Mhm.
what Monza can bring this year. I did make some updates to the track, mostly curving and all that, but it's Monza. It's going to be a draft fest, and we love it.
All right, we're going to get through this quickly. Well, even more quickly now. Race 4 is Valencia, June 13th at Ricardo Tormo. Race 5, we go to Hanoi. It is not going to be the full F1 layout. It is going to be a little bit of a modified one. Then round 6, we go to the Koreas in South Korea. Then we have our 4th of July off week. Then round 7 is still being determined. It was originally planned to be Belle Isle, but after some testing, that decided to get cut. Then the biggest announcement we have had in Bloxula E history. Round 8 is going to be a custom track. It is going to be at the University of Central Florida, where we are right now, and it is going to be a big and fast and technical track. It is going to be really exciting to see how that one gets developed by me. The track layout has been posted in the development. I'll post the official track map later today. That is on July 18th. That is a hard date, so if any tracks get pushed back, July 18th will be the UCF race. Then we had the Florida doubleheader in round 9. St. Petersburg, another fan favorite from the last year, which actually was surprising for us. We were happy to bring St. Pete back on the schedule. Then round 10, Marina Bay. It is going to have a different layout. We are thinking about moving to the full circuit, as these cars are faster and a little bit bigger than last season. So I think we are able to move to the big layout and not have that weird layout that we had last season. Round 11, which most of us saw shocking. It is Hockenheim on August 18th, the day before my birthday. Then rounding out, this was an easy choice for us. We are rounding out in Italy, in Misano, August 15th for round 12. And that is your season 3 schedule. Once again, 12 races over 4, well, let's say 3.5 months, with a custom track, the first time in Bloxula E history. But we would like to thank you for joining us for the Season 3 livery and schedule review. I am Monkey. I'm also joined by Doctor. We are at UCF. What a location for us. And we would like to thank you for joining us. We will see you on May 23rd in Mexico City. And back right here on the University of Central Florida campus on July 18th for that custom race. See you soon.